Hey everybody. So yeah, I finished up the blue animation. It was super simple. Took uh, 15 minutes and it was done. The so kind of go back over things when I did red color, there was just all kinds of refactoring that had to be done. Basically doing the scenes differently, just stuff like that, just to sync it up with the other three things that can be animated. So you can animate a mesh, you can animate a camera, and you can animate a light. And so when I moved scenes and made them animatable, um, or set made properties within scenes animatable, I had to make a bunch of changes. And then blue was the second one, and then that one was, I mean, green was the second one, and that was like a lot easier. I think that took 2 days or maybe two or three 15-minute sessions. And then blue only took one 15-minute session. Unfortunately, that is the last of that. Um, but so basically, to make it just from a UI perspective, to make it animatable, this was already done. You could already check it, and then in the animation tab, needed to add red, blue to here, and then we needed to add code uh, to uh, to in the animation code that actually does animations. I needed to add it. So this is how I did it. So basically, in the scene interface, the interface that describes the scene, I changed BG blue color to just blue color. And I changed it from a number to animation property descriptor, and then just fixed everything that broke that the compiler found for me. And that was probably in this circumstance about 50% of the changes. And then it basically caught every change that was in here, in this, and every change that was in the animation routine, or at least got me near those changes, so that once I was in there, I could see other things that needed to be changed. That was in the animation interface. I had to change two things. One was this animation interface property, where basically I'm telling it that it can also be a blue color. I just added one more. And then this three object subproperties, I added blue to the list. So then probably it doesn't matter what direction I go in. In the scene component, that would be in here. Um, I had to just update it so that it was, instead of updating a number which was called blue, it was actually a property of blue color. So basically, this used to be a number and it used to be named BG blue color. Now it's an object that has a start value, and that's what we show up in here. And then down here, when we get it back, whenever somebody makes a change of the blue color, this gets updated from to the start value, not directly to the main attribute. So that, I think, is to be expected. Super easy. It was nice because TypeScript just caught all those things. Super easy peasy. In the animations was a little trickier. I think these TypeScript didn't give me any guidance. I just had to remember. So in this supported properties dictionary, which is what drives this drop down here, um, I added blue color, and I specified that it shows up for scene pairs. And then down here, I had extra code to uh, to get the property from the three object uh, name, and for some reason they named them R, G, and B, which I guess makes sense. So now, funnily enough, is in the beginning I made this and I thought, oh, I'm so smart. I made uh, something that just works for everything, and it only works for mesh and for lights. It doesn't work at all for camera, and the thing that we animated in camera isn't even stored in three, so we have to get that back from um, the item light object, and then for the colors in the background, they're named very different. I named them red and red, green, and blue, and they're named G, B, and R. Um, so that's just the way it goes. But I don't know. So at this point, we have so many of these case statements. It's like maybe this should have been case statements too. I sometimes having like two different schemes is more complicated than just having one scheme that is just more items. I don't know. Probably who knows? Who knows how that will play itself out? But that's for another thing to think about. This is like might or may not be tech debt, and it definitely won't get any harder to figure out with time. Um, so um, so I say leave it for now, and if it becomes an issue, deal with it then. Yeah. So really, the main thing in the service is when I set up the scenes to get the set up the scene with the new way, which is an object, not a number. And let's see what else we did. This when I update the scene, or yeah, when I actually update the actual RGB to get the data from the start value, not from the value itself, and to rename it to the new name. And then this was a weird comment change to a comment just because I had an extra thing there. And then oh man, 628. This won't go much longer. And then this is just calculating the rate at which blue turns from its start to its end, and then this just assigns it to the start. So I used to just assign it to whatever the value was, and now I assign it to whatever is calculated in this code here. So what I have here, so one thing that I like to do is an eclipse animation from time to time, and I've definitely learned a lot more about eclipses from that. But one of the things that I think was missing in my eclipse animations was that I would just have the background set to black the whole time, and I think this is a little bit more realistic. I didn't actually build out an eclipse thing. Maybe I will tomorrow. Hopefully I will tomorrow. But basically, what we have here is just showing that it's middle of the day, and then I'll want to show the thing move across, and then when it gets here, it's that color. So if I pause it, and I just see it starts off, it ends at all red, and it starts off, and it slowly gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker, and then becomes kind of red. And I think that's kind of what happens in an eclipse. So this will be good because it I think it'll make my eclipse animations that I had done before look even cooler. It would be nice if I could just load those up, but I do not have the way to export and import yet. But you see, I go from no red to very little red, not a whole lot of red. Let's see, because I really want to be closer to black. So this might even be better, right? Like there, where it's almost black. So let's see. Yeah, see, I like that better. Um, and then um, the but the thing is kind of a bummer is that right now my animations just go one way, and probably for the eclipse, all I'll be able to show is it going into full eclipse. I won't be able to show it then moving out of eclipse and going back to blue, because just the way I've set up um, animations at this point in time. There's definitely in the distant future, I definitely plan to add like the ability to have more kinds of animations and to have like animation breaks that kind of go to one place and then to another place. But that's a pretty far in the future kind of thing. Let's see. Oh, so that was red, and then so like green starts off really high and goes to 0, and same with blue. Starts off high, not as high, and goes to 0. So like if we wanted a little bit more blue to start, we could do that. And I think that's pretty cool. What I'm at 9:38. This is a good time to stop. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.